What's going on, guys? In today's video, we gonna talk about DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, the Department of Government Efficiency intends to cut back on wasteful spending. What does that mean for us government contractors, you may ask? Well, I'm gonna break that down in today's video, all right? Let's get into it. As you see here, this is the DOGE official website. And you can see the estimated savings is about $140 billion. And so far, the amount per taxpayer is $869. Okay, and this is the official doge.gov website where you can track all of the payments that have been approved and the payments that have not been approved as well. And if we go to the official X page of the DOGE website, as you can see which type of agencies are getting funding cut. And you see here, today's agency canceled 109 wasteful contracts with a ceiling value of $1.1 billion. Savings of $420 million, including a $3.1 million energy contract for website development services and $2.7 million for commerce.gov contract for marketing consultation services and outreach. Now, for all you guys out there like, oh wow, that money could have went to me. No, it wouldn't have. I could tell you right now, this money right here went to a government insider, someone that has insider knowledge, someone that may been tipped off about this contract before it was even put out to a solicitation. Now, you have to think about this. If they're investigating corruption, you have to assume that, you know, some of these contracting officers may have buddies where they're like, hey man, I got this solicitation just ran across my desk. All you need to do is start a business and do this, do that, and then they getting their buddies in the door. Now let's just keep looking. Okay. Each year, the United States Institute of Peace receives $55 million in congressional taxpayer funds. Prior management would sweep excess funds into its private endowment. In the past 10 years, USIP has transferred $13 million to its private endowment, mainly used for private events and travel. Do you see what the common thing is here? There are people receiving millions and millions of dollars that could go to small businesses. So for the people out there who just think that the Department of Government Efficiency is out to get rid of government contracting, that is just simply not true. And I'm showing you here that there's multiple people who receive government funding, and that could have went to a business like yours or mine. Okay. Now, this is another person who received a lot of money from the taxpayers. Now, if you notice how this article is labeled, it says fact check, unpacking claim that group linked to Stacey Abrams got $2 billion in federal grant. Now, I'm going to show you this article because it's going to say that she did receive the money, but the article is labeled as in such she didn't receive the money. Okay, it says the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency discovered a $2 billion U.S. government grant paid to a nonprofit group linked to former Democratic Rep. Stacey Abrams. Power Forward Communities is a program led by 5 organizations, including Rewiring America, a nonprofit group that former Democratic State Representative Stacey Abrams has worked with since 2023. Power Forward Communities received a $2 billion government grant from the Environmental Protection Agency. It says, what's undetermined? Claims online say the $2 billion grant for Power Forward Communities was discovered by DOGE. However, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin said on February 13th that its team discovered the funding. Now, you see how they did that article? They tried to make it seem as if they were fact checking it and saying that she didn't receive the money, But no, they're just saying DOGE didn't discover that she received the money. Somebody else discovered that she received the money. And that's all they're saying. They're not saying she didn't receive the money. And see, the problem with this is she received all the money paid out to her up front without her companies ever proving that they had experience in that field. They reported on their tax documents the years before that they only had made like $100, $200 or something like that. But hey, don't take my word for it. Let me bring you to the congressional hearing that was held about this, and where they stated everything, that this lady had no prior experience. She never disclosed that she was a part of the board of directors for this company, and that company received a grant for $2 billion. And you wonder why the Department of Government Efficiency is trying to step in and say, hey, there's a lot of fraud going on.
Abuse, because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud. Now, there was a contract that you've heard about where Stacey Abrams got $2 billion just before we took over, and it was a rush to get her the money, and that was environmental, and nobody knows what she was doing. But $2 billion. If you got $2 million, that's a lot. If you got 200,000, that's a lot. But this was $2 billion was given. Lee, do you want to talk about that? And the other one that was even worse?
EPA has now canceled over $22 billion worth of contracts. $2 billion going to this NGO that Stacey Abrams was tied to. They received only $100 in 2023. And then the Biden administration gave them $2 billion. The director of the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund saw his former employer get $5 billion. So $20 billion went to just 8 NGOs, and they're all pass-throughs. And then they were giving it to other entities, many of them were pass-throughs. And what you have is all these extra middlemen, they're taking their cut. And the taxpayer ends up getting screwed. They're losing out on all this hard-earned money. They can't afford to have the federal government waste. The partnership with DOGE and Elon Musk has been incredible at EPA. Their team is very talented. We wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And of course, this mandate from President Trump to make sure that we identify every last penny, whether we're saving $50,000, $5 million, or $22 billion. We will not rest until every last penny is saved. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to do this.
This is ridiculous. And as you see, this is what the Department of Government Efficiency is looking into. So for you people out there that's like, oh, DOGE and Trump is here. Oh, it's the end of government contracting. Oh, government contracting is over. No, it's not. The people who just on the doom and gloom, you gotta get away from that. You gotta keep your mind focused on the goal. The goal is to make this money. And so if you're gonna let something like this stop you from putting in the effort, maybe this is not the field for you, because no matter what it is in any type of business, you have to stay set on your goals and try to hit your targets. No matter what happens in the market, no matter what external things happen, you cannot let that change the internals of how your business is operating. I just wanted to come and bring this video to you guys today because I see a lot of people on the doom and gloom, but I got a business meeting to go to, and that's all for today's video. Drop a like, hit subscribe. LeadAdvisor out.
In the shadows where silence dwells, you feel the weight, got stories to tell. But you rise like the sun shining bright, a warrior within, ready to fight. Keep your head up, the night's not long. this bond. So take a breath, hold on tight. You're not alone, we'll ignite the light. Every struggle is a step to find the beauty within your spirit to find. Together we stand, won't break this bond. In this life you have found your home. So take a breath.